everybody, I'm Reagan Fuller, and today I'm going to be giving my commemorative speech on Martin Luther King Jr. So what did he do? He led rallies, marches, and peaceful protests for freedom, equality, and peace between whites and blacks. He drew attention to acts of racism in the world and brought awareness on how to fix the wrongdoings. How did he alter the future of our world? Well, Martin Luther King Jr. changed the world back in the 60s. He is a prime example of a peaceful protester with a message on his heart and a fire in his soul. In fact, Mr. King set the standard for how we communicate faults in society. In addition, he was also a preacher. His views and principles were based upon the Bible and how God wanted his people to be treated. What was he against? Well, he was against segregation, which included, but is not limited to, restroom, movie, restaurant, and school segregation. There was a law that people of different races could not be married, and African American people had to sit at the back of public transportation like trains and buses. So Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was against that and led marches and protests and boycotted several places with a bunch of people to get his point across peacefully. How was he treated? Although he is celebrated today, most, 75% of people, disapproved of MLK at that time. Due to boycotting, most business owners, which were primarily white, blamed Martin for their lack of revenue. This grew to resentment and hatred towards the civil rights leader. While some people disliked and blamed him for the loss of profit, others just didn't want change. They weren't keen on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. coming into society to change it all. This was a norm, and it was acceptable then, and it was all people knew. However, Mr. King changed life as they knew it. So, this speech was made to honor and respect Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and this has been my commemorative speech.